everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the newest Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution.
This Netflix remake of the first Pokemon film follows basically the same plot of the original film. Now, after a scientific experiment leads to the creation of a clone of Mewtwo, he sets out to destroy the world. And Ash and his friends then decide to thwart Mewtwo's evil plans.
Yeah. Right. And you're wondering how it was? It was the same movie.
Exactly.
There was no change, except they apparently got some more accurate dub dialogue, and they changed the important message of the movie. Mm-hmm. That's it. See you next time.
Yes, Russell kept saying, we have to watch it. We have to watch it.
And this released on Pokemon Day.
Yes.
So this was supposed to be like an event for Pokemon fans, you know, as they were celebrating and in their contests and stuff. They get to see this on Netflix, and like, you know, you can just watch the first movie over again because this is the same movie, only not as entertaining somehow.
Right, it wasn't as engaging, and in the first movie, to me, it seemed like Team Rocket had more of a presence.
Yeah, and they might have edited down a little bit. The only thing they really changed for them was their dialogue. Like, in the original, they messed up the names of Pokemon that their silhouette was on screen.
That's true.
And people asked why was it messed up, and they said, well, it was an error, but they left it in since, you know, they figured, you know, Team Rocket would make a mistake like that, so they left it in the movie. Mm-hmm. So in here, they changed it to the correct names. And then with Meowth saying something at the end about, you know, if everyone saw we share the same moon and stop looking at what's different, what's the same, it would get along better. They changed all that dialogue to, I hope there's a full moon tonight.
Yeah, that's the equivalent. So, here's a refresher on what happens in Mewtwo Strikes Back previously.
Right. Well, we just told you. They make a clone of Mew called Mewtwo. And, of course, you can hear it telepathically like that Lucario in that one movie.
But you failed to tell him that he's very angry and very upset.
Right.
And rightly so, because they experimented on him and created him.
Right.
And made him have these powers to use for evil.
Right. And he wanted to know what was he made for, what was his purpose. And Giovanni wants him to fight in these Pokemon battles and just serve the Team Rocket organization. Mm-hmm. And then this makes him angry at humanity itself, and he wants to prove that he is the greatest being of them all. I'm like, oh, so it's like Shadow, the ultimate life form.
I'll show you my ultimate power.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And like we said, the movie kind of just does the same thing. I mean, step by step, it's the same thing. The same music, almost the same dialogue, shot for shot, line for line. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
so
kind
it
of
wasn't that it was a bad movie. It was just the same movie.
Right.
With a little updated animation.
Yeah, and many people thought, you know, someone suggested why didn't they put in Mewtwo's origin in there. I mean, they saw he was created and what happened after, but there was like a little bonus thing that was cut from the movie, like a 10-minute short film of what happened while it was being created. And so you could have added that in there and made it into something else, but they didn't do that.
Right.
That was pretty much a disappointing part because that was an opportunity to do something new, but alas, they didn't.
They also changed, and I know you've seen this, so there's no spoilers, when Ash actually gets taken out, they changed how that happens, and Pikachu's reaction, and how he's brought back. There was a change in that as well.
Yeah, they kind of sped it up.
Right.
Because that was supposed to be your first or second tearjerker for Pokemon.
Right.
And when they did it, they kind of rushed it because with the first movie, you kind of got the buildup of, you know, what was going on with the Pokemon wasn't right. It was too far, and Ash wanted to stop it, and then, you know, what happened to him, and then there was this realization from Mewtwo of what it means to be with the relationship between humans and Pokemon. And they took that out, and they kept adding more dialogue that was more obvious. Like, instead of, you know, showing how the character feels, they tell you how the character feels. As in, the character literally tells you how he is feeling, and he wants to strike back. And it's like, well, that's not the same thing as seeing it because you get it. If you're telling them, it's like, why you gotta say everything you're feeling?
It's like Avatar, the last Airbender live action movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just, it doesn't suck.
Right.
So, this movie is not something, if you're expecting something different and vastly improved, the improvement is on the animation.
Yeah, it looks really well done. It looks like a lot of detail into it. Good colors. Music was still good. The designs look fairly much like the original until Mama saw the humans and I said, "Who is that?" It's Ash. Well, who is that? Missy. Who is that? It's Team Rocket. They don't look anything like these original characters.
They do not.
And it's like all the Pokemon look right, but all the humans looked off. I don't know how they did that.
Right. Well, improvements. So, and I guess they said, well, you won't know the difference because all these people are gone now anyway. So, ideally, if you have not seen the original Mewtwo Strikes Back, or if you're new to the Pokemon franchise and you're just watching movies, then this may be the movie for you because you won't know the difference. And since it's just like the first movie, except for a few minor changes that you won't know about if you haven't seen the first one, then this is the movie for you.
Yeah, because it's pretty much what it does. And we like to, talk about more about what it did, but we've covered the first movie. We've did our first Pokemon podcast and the series with the first season and its first movie of the original Mewtwo movie. And what we said in there is pretty much what happens in here, only we don't have the same emotion as we felt the first movie. We just remember what happened scene for scene. And like I said, little minor changes, and it's mostly shot remake, so there's nothing really new to touch on other than, like I said, slight updates in the dubbing, animation, of course the new voice actors once again, just redubbing the lines. And one thing they did change, I noticed, was kind of odd. Maybe they didn't want it to be that huge of a deal. But there was one point when they had to go to that lair that Mewtwo was at. They didn't know it was him. And all these trainers were warned not to go there because of the storm. And so the legend has said only the ones who persevere, they're destined to become masters and they can break through anything. And Ash was kind of ready to give up at the time. This is before he went through all development, having, the battles and adventures and stuff. He was ready to give up. And then Team Rocket comes along and they're all disguised as Vikings in the original. And so, we'll take you there. Of course. And it kind of thought, like, does that mean they're going to be Pokemon Masters? Because they don't stop for anything.
Right.
And then when they had a new movie, they come in a little rubber boat thing and sing a song. It's like, this isn't as funny as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So it kind of changed even the mood of the movie. Like, they didn't even want that much humor in it either. They want you to take it seriously.
Well, we also have heard that, I guess, Netflix, in conjunction with Disney, will be remaking many of the Pokemon movies.
Yeah, because...
And we hope that's not true.
Yeah, because we know that there's this line of the alternate timeline movies where it doesn't follow the show's formula, where it goes on its own path. Like, what if different events happen? What if Ash didn't have, the three
Power
friends?
Of Us.
Right. Power of Us and I Choose You and the new movie Coco. All of them take place in a timeline where Ash doesn't have the three friends that go along with him on the journeys. He's sort of by himself and meets new people every movie. He doesn't meet Team Rocket, and Team Rocket doesn't know about him. They just sort of have their own story. They never meet and never will. And it's more about what adventures can they do without all of the same thing you've been seeing for the past 20 years.
Now, we do know that in anime, this is a common thing that's done with shows where alternate timelines are made, and it's something that works for them a lot. For us, I think it's a little odd because, especially for those who have been with Pokemon for the 20-some years it's been on, we're just on season 9, and we're getting used to the characters. And like for this season, we understand that it went from 4 kids to another studio.
Right.
The voice actors changed. The mood of the show changed. Even the ironic titles that they would choose, the tongue-in-cheek titles, they have changed. So at this point, starting all the movies over again, like I Choose You, and Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, just kind of juxtapositions everything that's going on.
Right.
So I would say, again, if you're not familiar with Pokemon or you haven't been a Pokemon fan, just watch the new movies and see what you think. But if you're a Pokemon OG, or if you're getting to it like we are, Netflix, we can appreciate what it is you're trying to do, but it's not working.
Yeah, just go ahead and make some new movies and new adventures, even if they're not in the same timeline. Just make something new instead of remaking the same movies, and the audience knowing what's going to happen, how it's going to end before the movie's even released.
And stay with the great animation.
Right, pretty much. So, if you haven't seen the Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, you can decide if you want to see it or not, honestly. Because, like we said, it's exactly like the first movie with very little difference. So, if you've seen the first movie, you can choose if you want to see the remake, if it's any good for you, or you can just skip it all together and just rewatch the first movie again.
And if you have seen any versions of Mewtwo Strikes Back, let us know in the comments below.
Right, and be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future Paws podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Yes, right.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Masculine Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to you later on in the